What's up, everybody? I'm Blevin Robinson with West Coast Cajun Cuisine, and today's video, blackened shrimp pasta. Welcome to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. If this is your first time here and you're interested in learning how to cook authentic Cajun cuisine, comfort food, and just about anything for that matter, then you've come to the right place. Click that subscription button and that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Now, today's video is blackened shrimp pasta. Now, I've taken my blackened seasoning that I use on all my other videos, if you've seen them, on the blackened chicken and the blackened chicken Alfredo, and put it on some shrimp. And we basically do the same technique as we do with the chicken. We cook it on high heat till you get a nice dark color on each side, and we're going to put it in a pasta. Now, this pasta is not a normal Alfredo. I make it with a roux, almost like a bechamel, and then we're going to add tons of flavor to it. I've also made some homemade fettuccine. I'll leave a link in the description to a video if you want to see how I'll make pasta, or you can just go to the store, go ahead and buy you some dry fettuccine and cook it up according to the package's instructions. So let's go ahead and get to the kitchen and get to cooking. All right, we're going to start off by mixing together our blackened seasoning. And I'm going to leave the recipe to that in the description below. And then I'm going to take about a tablespoon of that and season 2 pounds of shrimp. Now, I have medium-sized shrimp here. These are 41 to 50s, which means you get 41 to 50 shrimp per pound. And then I'm going to put aside 2 teaspoons of that blackened seasoning for seasoning the sauce later on. I have a 1.5 cups of whole milk. I have 3 tablespoons of unsalted butter, 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. I have 1 whole yellow onion, about a medium-sized one, which gave me about 1.25 cups of chopped onions. And then I have half of a green bell pepper that I chopped and half of a red bell pepper. And then what you don't see here is I'm going to use about 2 teaspoons of minced garlic later on in the sauce. And we're going to finish this all off with some freshly grated Parmesan cheese. All right, the first thing we're going to do is get a frying pan heated up to about a medium heat. And we're going to add our butter. And then we're basically just melting this down. And it's only going to take maybe a minute or so. And then once we get our butter melted down, we're going to add our flour. And once your flour is in here, just make sure you stir consistently. We want a blonde roux, so we're only going to cook this down for maybe 5 minutes. Just long enough to get that raw flour taste cooked out. And as you can see here, it just started to change colors just a little bit. That's about right where we want it. Now from here, we're going to add our vegetables. And once we get our vegetables in, just keep stirring. We want to cook this down for about another 5 minutes, just when these vegetables starting to soften up and those onions start to become translucent. We'll add our garlic. And once the garlic is in here, just go ahead and keep on stirring like we've been doing. About another 2 minutes or so. Get that garlic cooked. Make sure you keep it moving so you don't burn the garlic. And then what I'm going to do is add the seasoning. And just get it well incorporated. Maybe a minute or so, just get it mixed in there. And then what I like to do is add about 1/4 cup of chicken stock. And the reason why I do this is, for one, it is going to deglaze the bottom of the pan. And then it's also going to create this slurry, which to me helps mix with the milk a little bit easier. And then it also helps prevent scorching the milk when you put it into that hot roux. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit, get it mixed in, and then add the rest. And once we do this, I'm going to go ahead and just get it well incorporated, and then just let it simmer low while I get the shrimp cooked. Now I'm going to get another frying pan, nice and hot. You want to put this on a high heat. I'm going to add some vegetable oil and then start placing our shrimp in here. Now once I get all the shrimp in, We're just gonna let that cook for a few minutes. And as you can see, there's a little bit too much oil in here, but that's okay. After this first batch, I got rid of it. It took me about 3 batches to cook all the shrimp. Now this is the last batch, and I'm flipping the shrimp after cooking them for about 3 minutes. And as you can see, they got a nice char on them, and you want that on both sides. And once you do that, just remove them to a bowl. And now we're gonna get back to our sauce. Now I'm gonna add a little bit of freshly grated Parmesan cheese to this. Get that nice and incorporate it in there, get it mixed well. And then from here, we're going to add the shrimp. Accumulated juices and all, just go ahead and get all of that in there. And we're basically just getting the shrimp coated. And we're not cooking it anymore, we're just going to get it coated in that sauce. And then once you do that, the only thing left from here is to add your pasta. Now if you find that your sauce is a little bit thick, just add a little bit of pasta water to it, and it's going to thin it up a little bit. And then once you get the pasta in here, you turn your heat off, and then just make sure that that sauce coats the pasta real well. And then from there, we're going to plate it up, finish it off with a little freshly grated Parmesan cheese, and there you go. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is blackened shrimp pasta. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below. I really appreciate that. Next week's video, I'm going to bring to you boudin. Now, if you don't know what boudin is, it is a sausage made with rice and typically pork. You can use any protein you'd like, but the original recipe calls for pork, and that's what we're going to do next week. This sausage will blow your mind. There's so much flavor in this thing, it's ridiculous. You got to check out that video. And while you're here, check out some of the other videos on the channel. And I'll see you in the next one.